Ah, I see you're interested in the Bestarc BTC800XP. You just clicked on the right video. Alright, welcome back to Fabbin Adventures, guys. Today we're reviewing the Bestarc BTC800XP, and a little spoiler alert, it has CNC capabilities and it's 80 amp. Look at the size of this little devil. Slightly bigger than the Bestarc BTC650DT that I have back here and the YesWelder Cut 65DS. Slightly bigger, not much, but what I'm super pumped about is the CNC capabilities, and they give you these leads for plugging in there for the CNC. So let's just quickly go through this. They give you the same typical stuff, your 110 to 220 plug, your ground lead, same as all the other ones. If you've watched any of my videos, it's the same thing. And it looks like I got two electrodes, 4 nozzles, a couple of hose clamps, and some Teflon tape. Not really sure what's going on there. Let's have a look at the lead here. Oh, and we got a wrench for taking your tips off and stuff. Ah, look, they've been listening. In my last video, I think it was on the 10th Gen 50 amp one, I was saying that I wanted to see a different standoff. The little wire ones that are on there are just not as awesome as these standoffs here. The YesWelder Cut 65DS has these, and I really like these standoffs. Nice and positive. They don't flex. You put it against your workpiece and cut down, like a straight edge and cut down, however you want to call it. Very nice. I like this. Give you a close-up. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully that turns out. Nice gun. Ah, nice setup so far. Ooh, what do we got here? This is the business. And hey, you know what I noticed right away? Is there's no extra blue and red or black and red wires here. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. They've also been listening again. They have now turned it into a Euro plug. Hopefully you can see this. All your power and ground and all that is now in the Euro plug instead of having to do separate wiring and stuff. So it's looking like this bad boy is just going to plug straight in. It's got a little indexing mark there. Get her indexed, screw it on. Now that's what I'm talking about, Bestarc. They've been listening to my videos, and a few other people have been complaining about the extra wires that you got to attach. That's what I'm talking about. This is going to be an awesome little machine. I can see it already. Let's measure out the lead, the ground cable, the power cable, and I'll give you those facts and we'll fire this baby on. Okay. Super impressive. I've just measured this out. The lead is an unbelievable 17'6" from the machine. So almost 18 feet of lead. That's awesome. What is a little disappointing is your ground cable, again, is only 9'6". So a little over half the length of your lead. If Bestarc is listening, please make your ground cables as long or almost as long as your plasma leads. 9'6" is too short when I can reach almost 18 feet that way and I need to cut something over there. Or if I want to cut something outside of my shop, I want a ground lead that can get out there right beside my plasma torch to be able to cut stuff off. 9'6" is it's too short when you have that much lead. Your main power cable is 5 feet. That's short, but it's doable for what we need to do here. So anyhow, everything is plugged in pretty well. All that's left to do is put some air on it and turn it on. So let's get some air and turn it on. I'll put a little air into this guy. All right, so let's turn this thing on and see if I can run you guys through the setup. So right away what I'm seeing here is it is exactly like the 50 amp 10th gen. Let's get this off. All right, so what I can see here now is it's exactly like the 50 amp 10th gen one that I reviewed previously. So let's go through it. Let's go through it here. This knob here adjusts your amperage all the way up to 80 amps, as low as 15. This one here should be adjusting your post time in seconds. And to adjust your pressure, you would press this one to select it over to air. It's gonna shoot air out the nozzle, and we can turn the regulator down right here. So, and you'll see the pressure setting right here. It's set at 70 right now. Turn the regulator down. It's showing in the red there. At 30 pounds, she goes into the green. So we'll just leave her at green there. We'll set it back to cut, and that just selects these two different parameters. Let me bring you in close. So right here, you can see the green highlighting cut. If I press this button here, your air is gonna highlight. It's gonna blow air out the nozzle. And you press it again, it goes back to cut. These machines are super intuitive to play, to set up and to run. This arrow here is going to select these two, put it on plate setting. If you're just cutting straight plate, put it on mesh setting. If you're cutting expanded mesh or something with a bunch of holes in it or something like that, and in between contacts of metal, say on your expanded mesh, it'll shut off. When it comes close to contact on metal again, it'll kick on, cut through, shut off, kick on, shut off, cut, kick on. Pretty cool if you're cutting mesh. Now you go over to this side here, you've got 2T, 4T. 2T setting is you hit this button and it fires, and you let off and it shuts off. 4T setting would be you click it, turn it on, it's going to fire, and it's going to stay fired until you click it and turn it off. Okay, so when you select pilot arc here, you have your settings here. You can adjust it as low as 3 seconds up to 15 seconds. And pilot arc just sets how long you want your pilot arc to keep going. If you're dealing with, say, rust or paint or something like that, and you need a little more pilot arc time to burn through that stuff. It resorts back to post time, which that's one of my pet peeves with the other machine, is it jumps back. You put it to pilot arc, you're sitting there thinking about what you want to do or how you want to set it, and it'll go back to post time. And post time is your air, how long it fires air after you're done cutting. Now, from what I understand, when this thing is hooked up to CNC, it automatically goes to 15 seconds post time on your air, just to keep your nozzle cool. As soon as it's done firing, it's going to go 15 seconds. Okay, and so this over here is obviously your amperage up to 80 amps, down to 15. Over here, it shows highlighted that we're on 220 volts. A very intuitive machine to run. Let's see, I believe if I was to plug this into 110, this light here should switch over to 110. So the manual is actually pretty good. Better than the last manual. It gives you all your cutting parameters, way more detailed. All your setup. Pretty good little manual. And also, if we flip over to the other side and you go down here, you can see they have even the setup for your wiring for your CNC. Pretty cool. And it has torch height control. That's going to be awesome. And we're going to try it for the first time. I've never used torch height control with my ArcDroid. So pretty awesome. The amount of stuff you get with this here little machine for the price, pretty awesome. Let's cut some steel and then we'll go into obviously my thoughts, which you can tell what my thoughts are already. I really like these little Bestarc plasma cutters. I've had 3 of them now. I still have one that stays there constantly. I use the Bestarc for just hand cutting, and I use the Yes Welder Cut 65 for CNC. And I'm suspecting this guy here is going to replace the Yes Welder Cut 65 just because of its 80 amp capabilities. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it. I've only got a 40 amp 220 breaker. I do have a heavier duty one over here, but I don't have the conversion plug to run this welder on. I'll have to get that conversion plug, and then maybe we'll be able to run this bad boy at full 80 amps. I'm going to try it with my 40 amp breaker and see what happens, but it'll more than likely it's going to cut it out. The other thing is we're going to make a 2-part video on this little machine here. I'm not going to go into the CNC part of it in this video. We're just going to cut some steel here and finish up the video for you guys. And part 2 we'll have CNC wiring, setup, and use. So one of the other cool things with this machine is its pilot arc. It's not high frequency like the BTC800XP over there. That one there is high frequency. So when you buy a CNC machine like the ArcDroid, they actually recommend you to not have high frequency start, to have something like this here, non-high frequency, just because it messes with the electronics and it'll probably cause goofy cuts, or it'll shut the machine down altogether, stall it out, or whatever. A high frequency does some really weird stuff to electronics. It'll kill my lav mic and I'll lose audio altogether while I'm cutting with that. And it could mess with the laser over there. That's all electronic computer controlled over there. So you don't want to be cutting something on the laser and then be over here trying to cut something with that high frequency plasma, because it more than likely will mess with my laser cuts. So that's just some of the simple differences between high frequency and this style here that's non-high frequency. So let's try cutting something. All right, so we're just gonna turn this up to 30 amps and we'll give it about 45 psi of air. And we should be ready to try and cut some 1/8 inch or so metal. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, that was no problem. Let's step it up to 3/8, and I'll go set it for 3/8 here. So we go to 55 amps and 65 to 70 psi. There's 70 psi. 55 amps. Let's just see how this cuts here. Let's see, just for kicks, if we can cut this off. Yeah. So this plate here is welded to this plate with these 2 weld stitches. I'm going to try and blow them out and recover this piece just for kicks. I took the insert or the guide off of there, so I'm going to just try and blow it by hand and recover this piece. There we go. All right, we're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to try and recover this piece off of this plate here. That way we have this chunk of 1/2 inch to try and cut later. Let's see if we can blow this apart. There we go. All right, let's cut this piece of plate here. Get our ground on there. Yeah, cut that 3/8, no problem. Still cutting at a bit of an angle though. Okay, so I found us a chunk of 1/2 inch that I didn't know I had. So the setting here says 55 amps and 70 psi for 1/2 inch, but let's just for kicks, let's crank this bad boy up. Let's hit it with 80 amps and 70 psi and see what happens. Get my little guide plate on here. Let's try and cut this stuff. Oh yeah, it cut that like no problemo. Woo! There was not even a hint of blowback or nothing. And it cut it nice and straight up and down. Next to no dross. Wow, that's pretty awesome actually. And my breaker at 40 amps ran 80 amps on this machine, no problem. I never cut out for this 6-inch cut. Let's try aluminum. Aluminum eats up a lot of power. I got some 3/8 aluminum here. So obviously if it can cut 1/2 inch like that, no problem. It's gonna cut all your smaller stuff, 1/8 inch, 16th inch, smaller stuff like that. Let's try aluminum. Okay, we got a chunk of 3/8 aluminum here. I'm guessing we don't need full power, but we're gonna try it. All right, let's try this 3/8 aluminum plate. Woo, no problem. No problem whatsoever. And it cut very nicely, next to no dross, and pretty fast. All right, all right, all right. What else can I say? I love this machine. Very little to not like. It is a powerhouse of a little machine. I mean, it cut this 1/2 inch here, no problem. I've got some 3/4 out in the yard. I'll have to see if I can pry it free with my little hoe, maybe cut with it, but I'm sure it's going to cut that 3/4, no problem. Impressive little machine. A little blowback, CNC capable, 80 amp, user friendly, super intuitive machine. How can you go wrong? Bestarc has a super winner. The only thing that I would improve is this ground cable. I would make that thing at least 5 feet longer, 15 feet long. And your lead here is 17.5. Make this thing longer. Charge a little more money if you have to. This is an awesome little machine. It's totally going on the table. It's taken place of the S-welder. I'm not sure what I'll do with the S-welder, if I'll give it away to somebody or if I'll keep it as a backup or what. Let's look on Amazon right now and see what this little welder is going for. So bear with me quick here. This is a Canadian price. Let's see if you can get it. So what I'm seeing here on Amazon, yep, BTC800XP, 80 amp, blowback, pilot arc plasma cutter. This machine is going for $1,259 on Amazon.ca, but there's a $200 coupon that you can select right there like that, and it takes it to $1,059. Now, that's a fair bit of money for the home shop. If you were to try and go out and find an 80 amp top machine, name brand machine, Miller or any of the other big ones out there, I'm guessing a machine with this capabilities is probably going to run you $4,000 or $5,000. I wouldn't be surprised. So for $1,000, you're getting a ton of capability in this machine. CNC capable, blowback, 80 amps, super intuitive, easy to run, 220 or 110 capabilities. Man, this is an awesome little machine. Awesome little machine. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to tell you. The gun is awesome. The tips are easy to get at. You know, off Amazon, you can have them things in a couple days. If you live in a city, you probably can get them next day. They upgraded this little standoff, which I love. It's a great little standoff. They made this a Euro connector. Awesome. Can't complain about that at all. And almost 18 feet of lead. That's crazy long. We just need to upgrade this ground cable to 15, 16 feet even, and they'd have a super winner. Great little machine. What the cost of that is on Amazon.com, I'm not sure. In the States, let's just have a quick look here. All right, so on Amazon.com, so you guys in the States, it looks like this machine here is going for $899 US, and they have a $200 coupon, which is better when you do the conversion. It's better than, unless they're converting this to Canadian, it's a $200 coupon off, so $899, so now you're $699 US dollars, and that's a pretty good deal. If it was me and I had the money, it would be no brainer. I would buy this machine today. Click buy. Awesome little machine. Now, again, this is over the pond machine, so longevity, that's to be unseen. They did send me this free of charge, and when I do my reviews, I do them honestly. I'm not saying the thing is awesome just because they gave it to me. I have one there that I use all the time. It's a great little machine. This one's going to take place of my Yes Welder Cut 65. They're just a great machine. How long they're going to last, I don't know. I've had that one there for probably 6-7 months now, and I've used it a little bit, not a lot, but at the price of these things, it's like I said before in one of my other reviews, if this thing lasts you 5 years and craps out, you can go buy another one, still be well under buying a high-end professional one, and they will probably have way more updates and maybe more power or more reliability, or I don't know how you can get it easier to use, but you're going to get an upgraded machine. So to me, it's a win-win even if you get 5 years out of it. And I've got my Magnum welder down there. That's an over-the-pond welder too, and I've had that thing for it's got to be going close to 10 years, and I haven't had no troubles with it. The screen is starting to do weird little marshmallow thingies through it. But the thing's more and more than paid for itself. So anyhow, great little machine. Stick around for the CNC portion. We're going to do a part 2 of this machine. I'm going to show you how to wire it up for the CNC, hook it up, and we're going to run some parts with this here machine and maybe some thick stuff. I've got some targets to make for an upcoming event, and so we'll be putting this here little machine to the use. So if you guys are liking my reviews and my sort of videos, make sure you subscribe, share, like these videos, give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.